today. If you have any questions throughout, just feel free to write them in the question section, and I will try to get to them either during the training or I'll leave some time at the end. All right, well, you should see my screen right here with our slideshow to start. Just a little tidbit about what to expect as you integrate with Labster. So for our agenda today, just an overview of our integration process, how to upload simulations, how to download them, and how to upload them to your D2L course shell. I'll go over our support options, best practices while playing simulations for students, and then answer any questions that you might have. So once your school completes an order form with us, that school and professors, faculty gets sent over to myself or one of my colleagues. We are the implementation team, so you will be assigned an implementation manager who will need to get you integrated to begin with. The integration is done with your university's LMS admin. So whoever is your IT contact for D2L, that's who we will need to get in contact with in order to make Labster and D2L integrate. So once we do that, we offer training for professors like yourself to download simulations and upload them to your Brightspace. Once you're up and running, you have access, students have access. That's when you'll be introduced to a customer success manager. Their goal is to ensure you're making the most out of the material and also help you plan for the future. I like to put some faces to the names of our team here. You know, you're human, we're human. It only seems fitting. What you can expect, this is a little visual of how we integrate with your school's Brightspace D2L. I and myself and my colleagues will provide a set of keys for your IT admin to input into their Brightspace D2L. Once those keys are in place, then both Labster and Brightspace are linked. So what to expect as a professor downloading simulations and uploading them to your D2L. This is our faculty resource page, and I'm going to go in depth and show you step by step how to navigate this page, but I just wanted to give you a little view of what it's going to look like. Once you download the simulations from that faculty resource page, you will take that file and upload them to your D2L, your Brightspace, sorry. Once you're comfortable using it, students are using it, you will be introduced to a customer success manager who will be able to help you with material, anything that pops up during your semester. All right, let's get started. We'll start off with the faculty resource page. Now, this is a URL link that will be provided to you from our implementation team. So they will shoot you an email introducing themselves and step-by-step the process of what you're going to go through. They'll also send you the URL link to this faculty resource page. This is only for professors to use. Do not share it with students or anyone else. All right, let's get started. So this is what it looks like. The first tab here is the new tab. This is where new simulations will populate. If you check it periodically, you'll see that new simulations open up. Maybe you find one that pops up mid-semester and you want to add it, feel free. Getting starting tab here is essentially what I'm going to do today. So feel free to go back to this and review the steps. This simulation tab right here is where you're going to browse, read descriptions, play simulations, view all the lab manuals, lab reports, download them. You'll be able to view the quiz questions, answered and not answered, and download those as a Word doc, which you can then send out to students however you see fit, whether that is via email or simply posting it to your D2L. So how do we navigate this? The top bar right here, these are all extra material that will come out in a PDF, a video, just an image, extra material that you can add to your curriculum if you want. So say you are, let's say you're a biology professor and you want to check out the general biology topics. You'll just click on the topic. You'll be able to view all the names of our simulations within that topic here. You'll also be able to download a summary of each of them if you want as a PDF. And you'll be able to click into each simulation. So for the sake of it, we'll do this one. When you do click into it, it'll open up in a new tab. So just be mindful of that. You'll have to go back to the previous tab in order to view more simulations. So from here, you can actually play the simulation and get an idea of what students are going to see, as well as download any of these materials here. The lab manual, lab report, and theory page will be available to students in the simulation while they're playing. The quiz questions blank obviously will be what they are answering throughout the simulation and are graded on. So if you were to attempt to play the simulation here, it would just pop up in a new tab. You would get an idea of what the simulation is like. And exit out because it's going to take up a lot of energy and slow down our process here. So that's something to keep in mind when students are playing a simulation. They should only have that simulation tab open. It'll just help it run faster. That's really it. Here's a description of the simulation. You can also view the length of the simulation and the languages that we offer it in. So this is how you're gonna decide on which simulations you want to download and then upload to your Brightspace. You can write down the name of it, however you want to remember it, but you'll end up going to this tab to actually download the file of simulations. I don't want to skip over this teacher resource tab. So this is simply just extra information. I know some professors have questions about product or the implementation and access alone. So this is a lot of common questions with answers. There's also some teaching inspiration over here. We have case studies that Labster is involved in. Some professors like to take a look at that as well. Once you decided on those simulations in this tab, you'll go to Upload to LMS over here. You'll click Add Simulations to your LMS. You'll have this screen pop up. It's a two-step process here. You can browse for the simulation you want to add via topic, or you can enter the name. So for the sake of this, we will just click the first three. We'll just use this plus button right here. And you can come back to this faculty resource page as many times as you want. You don't have to download all the simulations at one time that you want. You can always come back and download another file. So keep that in mind. Also, if you are using a MacBook to download this file, it will unzip. You will have to zip that back up before you upload it to your Brightspace D2L course. So you'll click the plus button. It'll pop up in this column. You'll click download. You're going to click Brightspace D2L, the LMS that your school is using. You'll click download common cartridge file. It'll pop up on the bottom here. It'll be in your downloads, and it's always going to be labeled as CC_. So that's how I typically view it. So once that's downloaded to your computer, you're going to go straight into your D2L Brightspace course. I am in my biology course. You'll go straight to the course tools and then course admin. Through course admin, you'll see under site resources, it'll say import, export, copy components. You'll click on that. Now from here, you'll simply click import components. You'll start. You will upload. Now here's we're gonna grab that file, that cc underscore file that we just downloaded, and we'll click open. You'll import all the contents from it. You'll click view content. And clearly I have downloaded several simulations in my time. So just clearly these are all ones that I downloaded. When you download your common cartridge, your simulation file, you'll see a column, a little tab here that pops up saying simulations. It says 5 because that's how many will show up. The most recent simulation that you add will always show up at the bottom. So this is the one that we had downloaded. And you'll see this is pretty messy here. You can edit the descriptions of each of them by just clicking on it. You can backspace to make it look a lot nicer. You can delete it all in entirety if you want. That's up to you. Or you can also, I know some professors like to just erase it all and then go back to the description of the simulation itself and just copy this and then paste it in. And then you just click update. In order for students to play the simulation, they will click on it on the title here. It'll open up in a new tab. And in order to make sure you have a grade item on each simulation, you'll have to go here just like you do on any other assignment that you make. You'll have to click the plus button. You'll name it. Let's name it acid and bases. Category, you don't have to. Point system, you can make it out of 10, out of 100, however you would like. Say you, all simulations will be completed out of 100% as a percentage. So it'll adjust to whatever point system you want there. After that, you don't have to click anything else. And you can obviously create a start and end date for students and then click create. All right, so now we have a grade item on it. So when students complete simulations, their grade will populate into your grade book. The way that your LTI, your LMS admin for Brightspace sets it up when they originally integrate with Labster is that the student's best attempt will push over. So the student's best attempt will push over to your gradebook. You're going to want to make sure it's visible to students during that time. So make sure the visibility is here. If you want to take it away and have students not have access to it, then you would obviously just make it hidden. So that's how you're going to ensure there's a grade item placed to it, just by adding the grade item for each simulation that you upload. Now let's go back to our simulations tab in my course. There is a tool that Labster provides for schools. So when you download that common cartridge file, all the simulations will populate in the simulations tab, but you will also receive this tab called dashboard. This is an additional tool, grading tool that Labster provides. It's separate from your Brightspace gradebook and the best attempts that get pushed over. It's separate from that. This is just a way for you as a professor and even students themselves to view their own attempts and view which questions they got right and wrong. And I'll show you that right now. I don't have students in this course, so it's not gonna show me anything, but I will go to my fake dashboard here. So when you click on this, this is what will appear. Sorry, let me just log in. I'm gonna have to redownload this. Great. Okay. This is my fake course. Several of my colleagues, we will try to do the simulations in our spare time so that we have something to show professors. So don't be afraid if you click on the gradebook and you don't see any names. That is because they haven't completed a simulation yet. So once they start to complete simulations, their names will pop up. You can adjust the settings and how you want to view it. So when you first download your simulations and you get that dashboard tab to click on, you'll click on it, and initially the settings tab will pop up for you so that you can set your settings and how you want to view the dashboard. You can click on just those 3 simulations that we downloaded so that you'll only be viewing those simulations, or you can click select all to make sure you don't miss any of the ones that you gave students. I typically click select all. I tell professors it's best practice because you don't want to miss a simulation and not be able to view the grades. Whatever, I think it's best to select all. You want to show 100% of the simulations that are completed. You can change that to a different percentage, but that's up to you. It's really just, this is just an extra tool for you to play around and view simulations and view students' attempts at simulations. You can create a threshold. All this really is going to do is change the color of the attempt to red or green. And you can actually view their first attempt and their best attempt. That's totally up to you how you want to view it. But keep in mind, this is completely separate from the integration that we have with your school and your gradebook. So your gradebook, the way that your IT admin sets it up is that you're at the student's best attempts that they play will get pushed over. You will save the settings. You'll click done, and then as students begin to play simulations, their names will pop up with their grades. So I know, yeah, Alonzo has actually done several attempts on this one simulation. So this is what it would look like if the student has completed several attempts on one simulation that you provide. They'll show up like this, and you can actually click into each attempt. So if we want to view this one, their first attempt, we can see which questions they got wrong and which questions they got right. You can also see how long it took them to answer the question. So it's a pretty neat tool for you to get a better view. All right, let's close that. You can also export this into an Excel file. I know a lot of professors like to do that so they can see it in its entirety. You would just click export and then course data here. The survey data is a survey that we provide students with after completing simulations. It's a good way for us to get feedback, for professors to get feedback on whether they thought the simulation was useful, any areas that they struggled in, and so on. So this is our dashboard that we provide you guys. If you have any questions on these, you will be able to reach out to your implementation manager that you get introduced to after an order form is signed by your school. So we would answer any of these questions, same questions that I have. We're all super willing and able to hop on a call with you, walk you through it if you want. That's how you upload them, make a grade item, view your dashboard. That's how simulation grades will get pushed over to your gradebook. Let's see, I would like to go over support and then best practices so that you and your students know how you should be using Labster. Okay. Once again, this faculty resource page, you're going to want to bookmark. So I would just suggest bookmarking it once your implementation manager provides you with the link. All right. So say a student clicks on a simulation, they're in the simulation. There will always be this blue bubble in the bottom right. It's our support bubble. It'll be there when they play a simulation and are actually in there. It'll be there when they're out here, whether they're looking at their own dashboard, which is the same grades that you see, but just for themselves. Our response time is under 5 minutes, and they're available. Live agents are available from 8 a.m. to 1 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Outside of that, we do have a Labster bot that is capable of answering very common questions that students have. So definitely show your students that or tell them that that's available to them. What else? It'll also be available to you when you're in the faculty resource page if you get stuck. And other than that, we do have some best practices for when students are actually playing and what they should use. They should be using laptop or desktop. We are not compatible with mobile devices yet. I've seen several students try to play it on their iPad and have no idea why they're encountering an error. Yeah, we're working on that. We're not compatible yet. Obviously, it's something we would love to be in the future. They should only be using Labster simulation in one tab. They shouldn't have several open because you're going to want the energy focused on that simulation that they're playing. They should be using Firefox or Chrome. So make sure they have that browser software downloaded in order to play these simulations. These are the support and resources that I just showed you. We have several articles that will answer questions that students may have or yourself. You just go to help.labster.com. That is pretty much it. That's the gist of it. If you have any questions, Robert, let me know in this little chat. I'll be available for the next 4 minutes. Outside of that, you do have an implementation specialist that you will be assigned, and I'm sure they would be happy to answer questions as well. The recording of this should be sent to you from our marketing team. I'm not sure how long that takes. I would say definitely within 24 hours. So yeah, I would expect an email within 24 hours. So Blake is no longer with Labster. Um, for future webinars, we're only hosting webinars during our busy season right now. I'm sure we will expand to doing that on the regular, but I know we will be doing webinars through the 17th. So you can find different webinars to go to through that same link that you registered here. There's also some YouTube videos of each different LMS and other D2L webinars that have been posted to YouTube. So I would just search in YouTube Labster uh, implementation webinar D2L. Registering for webinars should be on our Labster website. Um, um, And if you are serving a website for one of these webinars, it's probably going to be under implementation. Yeah, I can't hear you. Here, I will give you my email. I would just let me know when send me an email with the school you're at and the course you would be teaching. All right, I'm going to end this broadcast and I will